How you doing, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Rose and El Toro show. Hope you're all well. Hope you had a good weekend. How was your weekend, mate?
Wasn't too bad at all. Not too bad at all.
You got up to much?
Working and watching some sports, thankfully.
The joys of working hospitality.
Yeah, long shifts, shocking hours. What about yourself?
Just a relaxing one, watching some sport at the weekend. I think was pretty much the gist of it.
The highlight.
Alright, guys, we're going to talk about football, a bit of golf, and a bit of WWE on tonight's podcast, but obviously you'll be listening to that whatever time of the day it is. We're going to start with Scottish football. We'll pretty much try and cover as much as we can about that. What about a Premier League, talk about the weekend results, what you thought, and we're going to run a couple of polls again at the end of this one. Cover off the golf at the weekend, the US golf and Tigers.
Miraculous return.
Almost got there.
Nearly made me a rich man.
It's a shame he's an absolute prick.
Still the greatest ever, right enough.
Well, arguably. On that, is he the greatest ever?
In my opinion, yes. It's a matter of opinion. It's all subjective at the end of the day. You mean your greatest ever? Mine's is Tiger Woods, 100%.
He's better than Jack Nicklaus.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know, it's just his all-round
right.
game.
That's a good argument.
As I said, it's objective, so some people are going to think Gary Player's the best ever, some people are going to think Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, or even guys further back. There's an argument that folk could say Jordan Spieth at a time was the great. He's not, and has never been, but he's been one of the best putters of the ball ever.
He's an amazing golfer. I think one day could be the best ever.
Yes, definitely.
However, not at the moment.
Not at the moment, but
there's literally, I think there's a massive gap between Tiger and Jack. Massive.
I don't know. Again, you can look at it with Tiger had the advantage of better technology like clubs, balls, etc. than Jack, but again, he's performing with within the era that he was born into. Do you know what I mean?
We'll just end it there that you're wrong and I'm right.
Tiger's the best.
We'll move on to as we said, it's going to be Scottish football first of all. So we'll talk Premiership first.
Yeah.
A bit of a nightmare weekend if you're a Celtic fan this weekend, unfortunately. 1-0 defeat to Hearts up at Tynecastle. I wouldn't have put money on it, I'll be honest, I wouldn't have, but I kinda saw this coming.
Yeah, I called it and completely shat it to put money on it.
I think Celtic fans are living in this bubble at the moment, which is completely understandable. Rangers are still behind them, no matter what way you look at it. They are. They've just won the double, treble, whatever the fuck that you would call it. But they've been an amazing team.
Yep.
However,
I don't disagree with that.
This season things are a bit different because I don't know what Brendan Rodgers is doing. I don't know whether he's not asked for players but expected money to get players, or whether he's asked for money and he's not been given it. I think Law's got a lot to answer for. I think Celtic, I don't know what the excuse would be that they're not investing money. I know they've spent a lot of money on their pitch and they've got nice fucking fancy lights on the top of their stadium now, but they, to me, have been crying out for a really, really strong centre-half for a long time. They brought in Compa.
Yep.
Who I'm under the impression he's started 1 or 2 games and has been injured since.
He's been injured the majority of his tenure.
They had Sviatchenko, who's was out on loan back in Denmark, and I think is now away in a permanent deal. And then what is another factor I think on this is Dedrick Boyata. Fulham have come in for him. He wanted to go. The club never accepted it. They told him they weren't going to let him go. Yep. He's now on strike, refusing to play. Hasn't travelled with the squad to play in Athens,
in Europe.
And then of course you've got the fact that they did play European football. the other night as well, which is obviously going to have a big effect on that that result at the weekend. But taking nothing away from Hearts, I think Hearts will do really well this year.
I think so as well.
They've got a good squad.
Really good squad.
A lot of young lads in there. Hearts have brought through a good few young boys.
Big boy that were playing up front looked really good. An absolute bull.
I think Lafferty's goal as well. Lafferty's goal was really good, and I think only good things for Hearts this season. I can't see Rangers quite taking the title off Celtic yet. I think Celtic will either bring in some players or play well enough to get them through. I don't think the Old Firm games are going to be as comfortable as they have been. No, I'm not necessarily saying that Rangers are going to win them, but I think they've got a better shot at winning one or two,
I would agree
rather than losing every game quite heavily.
And I think that's what the league will boil down to. I don't think there will be as big a gap as there was between the two last year. I think it will actually boil down to the Old Firm games this season. The Old Firm games and the games against your Aberdeen and Hearts. Like those, I think those two are the next strongest in the league this year.
I don't think we can. I mean, we're again doing that old famous Scottish football thing of we're just talking about Rangers and Celtic, and believe me, for them to listen, that's not what this is going to be. We are going to cover the rest of the clubs. But with the money that Celtic have got and the time that they've had in front of Rangers, I think there should be a lot. The squad, to me, they don't have a lot of depth.
Greater gap, I think, when it comes to it.
Letting Armstrong go, right? Okay, he's not.
$7 million rising to $9 million.
I don't think he's a. He's definitely not a bad player. He's a good player, but I don't think he's
Premiership quality.
I don't even know about that. I think he'll do all right for a Southampton. I just. Celtic have let him go and he done a job for them and they've not really replaced him. Scott Sinclair, I haven't seen Scott Sinclair play football in the way that he should for the whole of last season anyway. Definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong, Scott Sinclair still scored a fair few goals last season. There's nothing taking that away from him. I've got a theory on Scott Sinclair. I think even with his age, with him being a bit older than other lads that come up to Scotland or come across to Scotland and play and get the big move down to the Premier League, I think he's put that to one side and I think he's coming up here thinking, right, okay, I can play some decent football here. Yep. And then I can get, maybe not obviously Man City level, like where he went from Swansea,
he could get another move,
but he could get another move to maybe even maybe not now, but at the time maybe a Tottenham or an Everton or someone like that that's gonna get him maybe Europa League football, but will still keep him in the Premier League and maybe give him the chance of an England call up. He's stayed for his season and a bit and nothing's came in for him and nothing's really happened for him, and he's now kind of almost stagnated in this situation of, well, I'm now not playing well enough to get a move anywhere.
Some would argue he doesn't play well enough to get in the team.
I'm not saying that he doesn't love Celtic. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not. I don't know what he's thinking, but that's my theory on why he's not playing to his full potential. Obviously, they're missing out on Dembele. I think he has travelled with the squad and will possibly feature against the Athens.
But again, like, they might be missing out on Dembele, but they've got their record signing there, Edward, who, in my opinion, like, this is from the outside looking in, I'm not a Celtic fan, I would say Edward's a better player than Dembele, in my opinion. Yeah, well, he's young and he's got a lot of potential. Whether you can say he's a better player or not, well, we need to wait a couple of seasons and see what goals he scores. Dembele's an absolute machine. Some of the money that Celtic fans talk about Dembele going for is just it's incredible. I don't think his attitude's always 100%. Nah. Which seems to be a common theme in French football. For youth players, I know that the likes of Pogba, I'm not saying these guys are in the same class, but Pogba, Martial, Rabiot, obviously Ousmane Dembele that's playing for Celtic, they seem to have this attitude of, well, we're young and French, so we can dictate. Yeah, we can dictate where we go. Yeah. But neither here nor there. Poor result for Celtic at the weekend. Paddy Power must feel like fucking dicks. Oh, no, paying out in
Celtic to win the league. Later they fucking lose. Well, fuck them. That's them for trying to pull off that marketing stunt.
Yeah.
Also, interestingly, I've picked up today, Scott Brown has been cited for an elbow on Naismith.
All right, okay, yeah.
Should he be punished for that, he would miss the Old Firm. Which...
That's only good news, because then they'd be able to put in Ebui Kouassi.
Well...
He is useless.
Well, I've not seen enough of him to judge him.
He was useless
at the weekend. A couple of good games.
Useless at the weekend, unfortunately.
But no, he'd be a big miss. He's a captain, and he controls the midfield, and he tells players where to be if he's not on the ball. So I think he'd be a big miss.
It's like having a manager out there in the middle of the park with them. So yeah, completely agree.
Jumping on to Sunday, just to get them out of the way. Well, not get them out of the way, but just to discuss them just shortly after Celtic. Brilliant result for Rangers yesterday.
Yep. Especially after getting out to 10 men.
Yeah, 10 men. I think from watching the highlights earlier on, I think with the early goals, I think Rangers could have went on to win that 4 or 5,
fairly
6
comfortably. Yeah.
They were playing well, and speaking to a couple of guys about the game midweek last week, I think the second half, I've heard a few times now that's the best they've seen Rangers play in a long time. Yeah. So only good things for Rangers at the moment. The only thing I think it's easy for Rangers fans, because things have been so shite, to jump on this. Oh my god, look how fucking good they're playing. This is amazing. We could challenge for the league this year. My advice would be is to just take every single game as it comes, because Rangers are notorious for last year. Things are new players in and just playing some decent football, and then the next thing you lose a game, and then you draw a game, and then you lose a game, and it's back to fucking misery. Rangers have got the potential to do really well this year.
Oh no, definitely.
They've bought wisely for a change, I think.
They've not spent stupid money on one or two players. They've spread the money out and brought in areas that we needed to strengthen. I think Connor Goldson's an absolute cracking signing for us.
Seems like a really good player.
I think Arfield will come good as well.
Arfield, bringing back McGregor's a good thing as well. He's regardless of what your thoughts are on Alan McGregor, he's a brilliant shot stopper and he's a good keeper.
Number one between him and Craig Gordon, depending on who you ask.
He's a number two.
Again,
it's not about who you ask, it's about who's in the squad, and Craig Gordon's the number one. That's it. There's not you're doing it, but it is. Who was the number one throughout that whole World Cup qualifiers? No, it was Craig Gordon.
Fair enough.
But
Gordon injured.
That aside, the big boy in the middle, Koulibaly, he just looks like a monster. He looks like the player that Rangers have needed for so long. He wants to win the ball, and then he wants to drive with the ball.
Exactly.
He's just a big box-to-box midfielder.
Got himself in the score sheet midweek as well.
Well, I was reading that he actually dislocated his shoulder, went off to the side of the park and get it popped back in. And I mean, to be honest, whoever that would be, that's what football's missing now. There's too much fucking about. Not even that, it's fair enough, a dislocated shoulder. I've never had one, fortunately, but I can imagine it's fucking sore. And just the whole attitude of fucking, I'm here to play football. I want to go and play football, so just fucking get it back in and let me go and play.
Yeah.
So I mean, from that angle, he looks good for the future. And then if Morelos is going to keep scoring goals, then that can only be good. I think
we need strength up there. Like, we need another one or two. And I don't know if Kyle Lafferty's the answer, right enough. But with regards to strengthening up front, if we're bringing him in for pennies, alright, but that's going backwards. That's very much like Celtic signing Ezagiri again.
Oh, that I meant to actually pick up on. That is the most...
It's bizarre.
Crazy transfer. I know it's free, I get that, and I know he's a club legend, and he's done alright, and he's only back up to Tierney again, I get that as well, but
back up again, it's
there's surely better fucking places to put the wages. Surely,
because he'll be on a good wage. He'll be on a good wage.
I don't think he'll be any crazy. I think he was out in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, playing there before he came back to Celtic. But he looks fucking terrible. He looks honestly. Have you seen him?
I've seen a few pictures of him.
He looks completely out of shape and unfit. And I'm not judging somebody, but if you're going to be a fucking professional footballer, come on to fuck.
You've got to have a bit. You've got to look like an athlete at least.
Aberdeen, good result away from home.
Yep.
Playing Dundee. To be honest, Dundee don't look as if they could have fucking played for 3 hours and they wouldn't have scored.
Yeah.
They need a striker in there, which is good because they're playing them in the cup. So I'm happy with that.
So you'll be happy because you guys have got a striker.
I will get to him. But seriously. Aberdeen, you go to a game like that, they weren't playing amazing football. They were knocking on the door. They had fucking something like 10 corners in the first half.
Yeah.
They were playing some nice football, some neat football, but again, it's those games that are the most important sometimes to win when you're not really getting there, and then and you just fucking scrape that result, which was a penalty from Gary Mackay-Steven.
Yep.
So I'd say overall a good result. Good news as well for Aberdeen that they've brought in James Wilson from Manchester United to be on loan. I kind of feel sorry for James Wilson. He's never going to be challenging for a starting shirt or even on the bench at Manchester United. He's a championship quality striker. He's been with Derby. He's been with QPR. He's been with Hull. He's been with Ipswich as well, I'm sure. Just one of those Brighton.
Players again, like at a big club that just get held out on loan.
I don't understand. They put him in a new contract a couple of years ago, and I never really understood why. Maybe it's the financial fair play. I don't know. But you know, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Back to sorry, we're talking about the Aberdeen game. If they can keep getting results like that, then who knows what can happen for them. I mean, we're saying that
they'll be up
Rangers
there.
And Celtic,
but they will be up there.
If Rangers have a period of losing a couple of games,
even just a couple of draws,
and slug games like that, I'd love to see Aberdeen win the league. I know you wouldn't, but
no,
I'd love to see it because.
Do you know what? See, if it's not us, I'd rather it wasn't Celtic.
Do you know what?
Do you know what I mean?
It's just one of those things of
making it more competitive.
But it's just a team that isn't. I mean, I get that when you're growing up. I mean, you're from Coatbridge.
Yep.
And you support Rangers.
Yep.
I get that growing up, your dad probably made you watch Rangers games or made you want to watch Rangers games, or you watched Rangers and decided that's my team. But I think that Scottish football loses focus a bit. I think that there's not enough, whether it be fathers or whether it be children's football clubs or whether it be off your own back or advertising, I don't know. When I was young and playing under 12s, we got given free season tickets to United. That's what happened, and alright, I can't make every game through different commitments in personal life and work life, but the crux of that is that there's not enough done anymore, and I'm not saying it's down to guys like you, but there's not enough done anymore to support your local club. You've got Albion, Airdrie, Hamilton, Motherwell.
Well, to be fair, at a young age, they weren't my local clubs. Like I was actually Glasgow up until the age of 10. So,
but where in Glasgow?
Bailison. I went and watched Bailison Juniors every weekend when I wasn't playing football.
Yeah, I get that, but what I'm saying is, I'm not sitting here saying that I expect every fucking person to support their local club and nobody's allowed to support Rangers and Celtic.
If more people did, it would be a lot better for football in general.
You get guys that will travel from fucking Inverness to go and watch Celtic and Rangers.
Guys that travel from Ireland to go and watch Celtic and Rangers.
But my point's more to do with Inverness, Cali Thistle.
Have a team that
if these clubs were better supported and get better turnouts, then their attendances would be up and they'd be making more money.
Yeah, and in turn be able to bring in better players, attract better players to the Scottish game.
That's what makes me laugh, because if Ayr United somehow done the fucking miraculous and went up this year, right, okay, we'd be sharing a stadium with Kilmarnock.
Yeah.
But the amount of fans that would draw in,
and it
annoys not even me, because I can't call myself a diehard, I'm not, but there's guys I know. There's a guy I know from Ayr, Rick. He's a great guy, and he follows Ayr United everywhere. Yeah. Every fucking where they go, he follows, and I admire him because he goes to shitty grounds and shitty weather on shitty buses and shitty trains, and fucking supports that club.
Yeah.
And it must fucking annoy the life out of him with cup games, when the fucking play with Kilmarnock or Rangers or Celtic or whoever it is, and the fucking place is packed to the rafters.
Yeah.
He must be standing there going, and where the fuck are all using a Saturday?
Aye, on a Saturday morning when you're playing League One last
season.
I
suppose we're going on to another debate, we can save it for another time, but just have a look at your local club. Like, just because they're not fucking winning trophies all the time. Do you know what I mean? Rangers went down, and argue with me till you're blue in the face, not you, just anyone in general. Rangers fans, a lot of them went missing when they were down in the second division. I know they still got a good following.
They stunned out to the first couple of games, and then they fell away.
I know they got a good following, but there's only so much you can fucking take wanting to watch them. I'm not saying they're away and supported Celtic. I'm not saying that at all, because they're not Man City and Chelsea at the end of the day, but they weren't there. And now Rangers are back in the big time. Well, the place is packed to the rafters, and we're putting up fucking stupid displays of fuck knows what the hell that was at the weekend. Meant to be the Glasgow skyline, I think, but it was fucking terrible. It was fucking horrendous. Terrible. Yeah, I seen one today, and it was I think it was an armadillo eating a horse. That looked a lot more accurate than a fucking Glasgow skyline, anyway. So sorry. Again, I seem to do this
tangent there,
rant over. Livingston obviously promoted Kenny Miller's team.
I think they'll be lucky to grab a handful of points this season, unfortunately.
As much as I fucking despise them, and for the record, I fucking despise them, Kilmarnock are a good team.
Yeah. Steve Clark's got them playing really well.
Steve Clark, great manager. There was a lot of chat that he was going to go to Rangers, and he didn't. I don't know what happened.
Would have loved for him to go to Rangers.
But that's a poor result for Kilmarnock. Good result for Livingston, poor result for Kilmarnock. 0-0. I think the pitch at Livingston,
they've changed it to a 4G pitch.
But it's I was talking to a boy at my work today, and he was saying to me, and I had to look at it. The bobbles off it are fucking awful. It's like playing at a local ground. It really is pretty bad.
It's going to be a leveler for them.
So I mean, I know there's not really much you can say about it. I suppose maybe a good point for Livingston, I don't know, but to be honest, for a game even against Kilmarnock, you really should be trying to nick that 1-0 to try and get some points.
Chris Boyd was on TalkSport this morning, and I was listening to it, and that was exactly what he said. He was asked by Jim White how the game was, and he went, well, how exciting can a 0-0 draw actually be? And this is the guy who played in it. Do you know what I mean?
Hamilton Accies, the old Lanarkshire derby.
Yep.
Beating Motherwell 1-0.
The games are always tight, right?
I know.
They're at that level now where Motherwell aren't the top 3 or 4 team that they used to be.
I know they've kind of fallen away a bit. I think they brought in a few good players over the summer. I
think Kimbre leaving's going to hurt them.
Aye, I think so as well. And they've lost a couple of good players over the last 2 years, and it's hard to replace them. Hamilton have stayed steady. They've got a relatively good youthful squad.
Yeah.
So going forward, I think that can only lead to good things. I actually seen the game on Sports Scene, and it wasn't a great game, to be honest. It wasn't.
Right, yeah.
You're not going to do a lot of writing about it, to be fair. It was an ugly 1-0 win, we'll say. I think Hamilton were the better team. Motherwell did play well in parts, but overall I think Hamilton deserved the win there. So sorry, Bozzy.
He'll be listening to this chomping at the bit to call in.
Aye.
So, bossy, if you want to call in, just give us a wee, give us a wee message.
On the Championship, the real league.
We'll start with your club then. Inverness Caley Thistle versus Ayr United.
The mighty Ayr.
Good result for them. Away at Inverness.
It was a good result, and I think mainly because you got a man sent off in the 31st minute.
Yeah, very early on.
So that would have killed the game. Only thing I would say is that, again, I've seen the highlights. I wasn't at the game, but Ayr didn't sit back.
No, they pushed and
pushed. I mean, Inverness were the better team. I'm not taking that away. But I would have said going up there. McCall said at the start of the season, if we can get a point from the big teams away, try and nick 3 at home, we'll do well. At the end of the day, the aim for Ayr this season is to stay in the league.
To be honest, I think
else is a
do.
bonus. Listen. I'd like to think so, but
it's not a massively strong league now.
We've got a really, really small budget.
Yeah.
We only went full time a couple of seasons ago, at the start of last season. So, and even at that, we needed a draw at the end of the season to get up. It was a tight year last year. Wraith ran it really close.
Yeah.
And I think we were the better team, and that's not
over
biased.
I think
we were the better team over the course of the season. The thing with United is Inverness are a great team. I fancy them to challenge for it this year. Them and Ross County, I think, will fight it out, to be honest. But I think if Ayr are the type of team that they were last season, if they are, then they would have went away to Inverness and won 5-0, but then played Morton and lost 4-0 at home. That's the kind of team
the kind of yo-yo form.
Yeah, and that's what cost us ultimately. Well, nearly cost us ultimately last season. So overall, it was a good result for us, and Lawrence Shanklin seems to be staying,
which is only good.
Obviously,
guys.
There was bids coming in from unnamed English teams, which I've got some information that one of the teams was Salford. Obviously, they've brought in Adam Rooney, which was a big blow for Aberdeen. I think a lot of media outlets down south talking about that, saying, "Oh, how bad is that for Scottish football, and how bad does it make Scottish football look?" Well, it fucking doesn't. Salford, right? Okay, it shows that a team in the conference in England have got more money than Aberdeen because they can afford to pay bigger wages for Adam Rooney. They're owned by fucking four millionaires. These guys aren't fucking a wee bit rich. This is fucking Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs and Phil Neville. And David Beckham's got an interest as well, which I believe he's obviously had to cut because he's Miami franchise, but he's still getting invested interest. So, these guys are fucking loaded. They're not getting into this thinking, well, we can't afford to pay X amount of money.
At the end of the day, running a football team isn't a money-making business. Let's be really honest. If they didn't have the money to spend, then they wouldn't be there. Just
to quickly run through the rest of the results, and then we can kind of recap at the end. So, Morton won 2-0 away to Alloa. Brilliant result for Morton. Yep. Ross County beating Dunfermline 3-1 in Dunfermline. Inverness was 0-0. Partick Thistle beat Falkirk 2-1. And Dundee United beat Queen of the South 2-1 down there.
Yep. Good result for Partick, bouncing back after the defeat to Ayr.
Defeat to Ayr last week.
Back defeat to Ayr.
One was the cup.
Yep.
Defeat to Ayr last week, and then back to our winning form this week. So good for Partick. I would say that Ross County seem to be flying at the moment. That's 2 wins out of 2 for them now, and they're looking really good to go back up. They've got a good management structure in place. They've got a good squad. Dundee United, it's a good result. Queen of the South, kind of fancy to go down this year.
Okay, yeah.
But a good result away from home there. Dundee United I feel bad for them because they went down there and they've kind of got lost a bit.
Yeah.
They've nearly challenged and they didn't challenge and they spent big money on wages bringing in.
Most people would have expected them to go down and back up.
Oh, exactly. But then, I mean, there was a fucking time there was Hearts, Hibs, Rangers and Dundee United all in the one league. So you can't read too much into this point of the season, but good start for Ferreira, I would say. Great start for Ferreira, and I think Falkirk. I think they're going to struggle this year as well, to be honest.
They struggled last year as well, didn't they?
Yeah,
they weren't great last year.
They weren't in great shape, so I think I don't know really what's going on because they've got an absolutely beautiful stadium, to be honest.
They do, yeah. That's one thing. There's quite a few nice stadiums down there, like Dundee United, Falkirk. Decent infrastructure in these teams. You've got to wonder what kind of is going on that they can't seem to get the players in to succeed at that level when they did for so many years in the SPL. Like, they succeeded in the SPL, really. Dundee United were in Europe at one point, I remember. Oh no,
listen, Dundee United, I mean, people forget Dundee United had Nadir Shifshay when he was playing well. They had Stuart Armstrong, they had Gary Mackay-Steven. They had Robson back playing for them. Again, he wasn't setting the world on fire, but he was playing well. They had
Willow Flood back as well, but again he was past it.
And then they had a lot of the young boys that they lost to Partick Thistle in lower leagues when they were down at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I mean they've been playing Dundee United. Are we talking about
Dundee United? Yeah.
So they've been playing decent football, but I can't see them go back up this year. Every time they come close, a stronger team comes down.
Yeah, that's it.
Just a quick shout out as well. A group of boys down in here. Well, I say a group of boys, a band down in here. I've got a song out there now, so it's a band called the Seaside Sons. Brilliant bunch of lads, fucking cracking musicians, really. And they've got a song out at the moment called United with Pride, and that's to help raise money and funds for the club. They are actually 63rd in the official UK charts at the moment.
Nice one,
for
brilliant.
Scotland. So it's a fucking great song. If anyone is into their music and fancies something a bit different, give it a download. They are on iTunes. So just look for Seaside Sons and the song United with Pride. You'll also find Seaside Sons albums there as well. Very worth a listen. They're a cracking band.
Fantastic.
Sorry.
Let's moving on to the Premier League then.
Let's not forget League 1 and League 2.
True, okay.
Just quickly run over these results for any of the listeners that have got an invested interest. Airdrie losing 1-0 at home to Montrose.
Poor result.
Really poor result for Airdrie. But I mean, Airdrie they kind of came close a couple of years ago and then kind of went out the way. And
last year was a bad year for them.
Oh, financially terrible.
They went 2 years ago, beginning of 2 years ago, they decided to go full time.
Yep.
And that was the kind of final nail in a coffin really for them. They've got to went back to part time contracts, and really that's what they need to focus on now, is getting the right boys in on a part time basis. Clyde?
Yeah, Arbroath won 3-1. Clyde in League 2, mate. Arbroath won 3-1 against Stranraer. Good result for Arbroath. Stranraer are a decent outfit. Brecon City won 1-0 at home to East Fife. Dumbarton lost 2-0 at home to Forfar. And Wraith winning 2-0 against Stenhousemuir. So Wraith, I think, are going to win that league. To be honest, I think they're looking strong. Dumbarton haven't had a good start since coming down, so not great for them. Albion Rovers down in League 2, lost 4-0 home to Peterhead. I think they're just starting to spiral out of control now.
They've brought in all junior players, second tier junior players as well, so it's not looking good for Albion Rovers.
Not good at all. Cowdenbeath lost 2-1 at home to Annan. Elgin City beating Edinburgh City 1-0. Clyde beat Stirling 3-0.
Good result
Queen's
for Clyde.
Park 1-0 against Berwick Rangers. Clyde looking really good.
Yeah.
Good Willie knocking in the goals.
Hunter's saying they were playing really well.
Aye. I think it's looking good for them, to be honest. If they can keep that up, then God knows where Clyde can go. Again, it's another similar situation to here. Obviously, they're a lot lower down now, but Clyde are just they're on this bit of spiral now. We're on a bit of a spiral with no fans and no money, and Barry Ferguson come in and
did a decent job at Clyde. I think it depends on depends on what Clyde fans you ask. I suppose some folk think he did decent, some folk think he was an absolute failure.
But I think that's what obviously we've capped off Scottish football. Anything else you want to add? I think we've kind of covered everything we can.
No, we've rattled through guys. We've hit the most important points, I think.
Yeah. Any questions, guys, and anything you want us to go over to do with Scottish football, your club? Let us know what your club is, and if there's anything you want to hear us debate or discuss or talk about or fucking anything you want. Just drop us a message. Again, that's at Rose El Toro Show on Twitter and the Rose and El Toro Show on Facebook. Don't forget the podcast will be up on YouTube, SoundCloud and Podbean once the show is complete.
As well as Stitcher. We're on Stitcher as well.
Sorry,
yeah. So we're getting about.
On to the quickly, sorry, two things I forgot to bring up that I wanted to talk about.
For God's sake, Mikey.
Don't ever slam me with this piece of shit.
Ouch.
Well, one of these should interest you, because it's Kyle Lafferty to Rangers. Is it happening? Is it worth it? These are the three things I want to know.
Right, okay. Shoot.
Not is it happening, because I think it is.
It's
just about Rangers fucking not wanting to pay the money. They've offered Lee Wallace. So, do you want him at your club? And two, if not, or if yes, why?
Right, okay. It's a hard one. I touched on it earlier when we were talking about the Hearts game, but is it worth it? I don't know is the answer, because he's very much an enigma. Similar in the way that Peter Lovenkrands was an enigma at Rangers. He loves a goal against Celtic, but he can go missing in big games. So if to look at both sides, I wouldn't say no, he's not worth it. I wouldn't say he's worth it.
That's
purely because he goes missing in big games on occasion.
I don't think he's worth it. I think he's a decent player when he wants to be. Just as you said, I think he goes missing in games, and that's not what Rangers need just now. They're going backwards instead of forwards if they bring him in. In my honest opinion, it's a stupid move. Rangers fans that say they want him in because he does the hand ulcer to Celtic fans and gets it right up them. Fuck off. Do you want your club to proceed or not?
No, exactly. No, I completely agree with that. It's
progress even.
I know we've brought in Alan McGregor, and he used to play with, but that's a completely different story. He's still at top his game, really.
And the other one I wanted to talk about was Emerson Hyman. Going to Hibs on loan.
Great signing for Hibs
from Bournemouth.
I really rated him when he played with Rangers. We were talking about this the other day. Actually, he won our Young Player of the Year.
Yeah, exactly. I think he got drafted, if I'm right, by FC Dallas in America when he was very young.
Yeah.
And then he moved to Fulham. Made quite a few appearances for Fulham.
Bournemouth snapped him up.
And then Bournemouth snapped him up, and he's been out on loan since. Pretty much, I think he's only played once or twice for Bournemouth. He's had 2 caps for the United States now.
Yeah.
And I think there's only good things for this boy going forward. I think he's a very, very
still relatively young as well.
Yeah, he's a very controlled midfielder. He knows what he's doing.
He's not scared to get on the ball.
No,
he likes to get on the ball and
very
make passes.
Confident, yeah. Very, very confident. And also, just again before we move on, the boys have brought in from Croatia, Barisic.
Oh, Barisic, yeah. He looked really good when he played with Osijek. It was
really mental, because I didn't have an investment in the game, so I didn't watch it. But the first leg against whatever that
team,
aye, well done.
I do pay attention sometimes.
One of the guys at my work, good Rangers fan, good guy. He was talking about him, and he said, you know what, this fucking left back, he's good, he's confident, he
stood out like a sore thumb.
Aye, stood out big time. Was basically it. And I thought, well, that's class. You know, he's really going on about him. He must have been decent, because he's not the type of guy that will just say, you know, Edmonton's amazing. You need to impress him. And then the next thing I know, I was thinking at the time when he was starting to, so they just could sign someone like that then, because you're not exactly strong for cover at left back. You're playing a right back at left back in Flanagan.
Yeah, and we've got rid of Declan John.
Yeah,
they're looking to get rid of Wallace.
So definitely great move.
Yep,
great move.
Completely agree.
Again, from what I've read, he was in the provisional squad for the Croatian World Cup team as well. Didn't obviously make it, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not a class player.
Exactly. That Croatia squad's full of class players, to be fair, so not making that squad is no shame at all.
So, moving on to the Premier League.
Yes. Let's start with the Friday night game.
Friday night game.
Man U Leicester.
Well, at least it gave us something to sleep. It wasn't a great game, I don't think. Watched it. Obviously, I'll be honest, I've got a bit of a love for Manchester United. Don't have a love for Mourinho. I think he's an absolute prick. Very arrogant, very small-minded, very miserable. Doesn't fit in well with the club's ethos. What is even Manchester United's ethos anymore? Yeah. Positives, I think I would take was Pogba looked good. Fred looked really good. I seen on Twitter there was a lot of people slating Fred. A lot of people saying, "Oh, I paid £50 million for a Brazilian." Like, you need to remember, £50 million now is not
£50 million now gets you John Stones.
And you're not, Brazilians aren't all Rivaldo, Ronaldinho and Ronaldo anymore.
A lot of people have that preconception in their head.
For me, Fred, Matic and Pogba will look good. Listen, and we'll talk about Andreas Pereira in a minute, but Fred broke up play. He looked comfortable with the ball at his feet. He was a good passer.
Yeah.
And another thing that I think's been missing, he got fucking tore in.
Yeah.
He really showed a bit of dig. He showed a bit of I'm going to be here and fight for this shirt. Like I'm going to invest myself into Manchester United, and there's not enough players that have been like that. Paul Big at the captain's armband for the game, and again I said he played all right. He wasn't world beaten for me, and I think he's been given the captain's armband to sweeten the deal. But from what I was reading, I think him and Mourinho's relationship severely on edge. I think his words were, I seen a bit of a piece on it, and it's been taken out of context dramatically. But his words were almost where if I say what I want to say, I'll be fined. And it wasn't to do with leaving Manchester United; it was just to do with him and Jose's relationship. Yeah. I think the Barcelona moves out of the question now.
Purely because they won't.
They don't have the money. They don't have the money. Barcelona do not have the money. Don't be fooled by thinking it's Barcelona. They must have. They do not have the money. The money they've paid for Coutinho. They didn't sell André Gomez. They've put him out on loan, and they didn't get as much as they were looking for Mina. But that they just needed rid of him.
And that's the two players they were trying to bargain
with.
So
I can't see that one happening, to be honest. But Pereira, playing in a holding role, he's actually a left or right winger. Played in the holding role in place of Matic, who's not 100% fit. He looked good. I don't think he was amazing. I think he looked good. And then you know how I feel about Luke Shaw. I was so happy to see him back in the squad.
Oh yeah, I would, in my opinion, outsider looking in, he should be the first choice left back.
He should be. He's probably.
He scored a goal that he's going to tell everybody that he meant that first time.
Listen, he scored and it's his first goal for the club.
No, exactly.
And it won us the game by the end of it.
Good way to start the season for him.
But he's the only out and out left back that natural left back that Manchester United have now. But you've got Dimitri Mitchell, who's a youth player. He was out in Hearts last season.
Darmian, who can play there, but he's a natural right back.
But Ashley Young as well as a converted left winger, now playing at left back, who I think will go back in, unfortunately. Not unfortunately to say Ashley Young's not a good player, I just think Shaw should be given it. And then you've got Rojo, who's been playing out there as well, but again, he's a natural centre half. I think Lindelof played well, and I think Bailly was my man of the match. One of the tackles specifically made in the first half was unbelievable. He just, if he starts to play like that the rest of the season, it's a good start for the defence anyway. De Gea was just De Gea.
You know the performance that you're getting from De Gea now.
Sanchez, this is my main point now, is he's just not there. He's just not there at all. He was the worst, by far the worst player in the park. He gave the ball away more than anyone else in the Manchester United shirt. He just does not look the part at all. I would 100%. I'd 100%, providing his attitudes there, have Martial or Rashford down the left. And Sanchez not in the park. Either that, or if Lukaku's not fit yet, for whatever reason, all these fucking players that need more time off after the World Cup, that was fucking 3 weeks ago, then Sanchez should be given a bash up front, playing up top.
Play him through the middle,
Rashford did a good game, I thought. Manchester United is now number 10. And Mata was Mata. He just nice passer, looks good in the ball consistently, 7 or 8 out of 10. He's never going to break any.
Exactly. That's it.
He played well.
You'll get a couple of goals here and there, but you know what you're getting with Mata. He's comfortable in the ball, as you said, and he can dictate a game.
Aye, definitely. What about Saturday football? Any of the results stick out for you?
Liverpool or Sunday, sorry. Saturday football.
We had Newcastle United and Tottenham in the morning.
Nothing that I didn't expect from that game. Newcastle gave them a goal in the second half. Really gave it a good go.
I think my standout match on Saturday would have probably been Chelsea. Sarri had said that it could take months, and Kante had said in the press conference during the week that it could take a couple of weeks. But Kante said Sarri wanted to put Jorginho in as a holding one player, because he sees a potential for Kante not just to be the sweeper player in that midfield, but also to go forward. Told him he wanted to get free rein, and Kante said in his press conference he thinks he might score more goals this season. And what happens? First goal of Chelsea's season comes from N'Golo Kante. Chelsea played fucking some really, really, really neat football. The team looks well gelled. Hazard's not 100% fit, I could see that. Plus I think we're still sitting in about a 60% chance of going to Real Madrid. But they
just over 2 weeks as well.
They played some good football. We never got to see Kepa the keeper. I thought you liked that.
Fantastic name for a goalkeeper.
I thought we never really got to see Kepa Azpilicueta.
Very well done.
Because he never really did anything to do. I think Depoitre hit the post, but the crossbar, should I say? But other than that, they never really troubled.
Relatively comfortable afternoon for them.
Brilliant result for Watford. They won 2-0 at home to Brighton. Brighton have made a couple of good signings over the summer. I think I would have fancied Watford, to be honest. But what I like about it, that result in that game, was Pereira, who came from Juventus a couple of years ago. Played well to start with and then kind of died away, and now he's back in the squad, and now with Carlson going. And I think he looked really good. He scored the 2 goals. And again, if he can do that all season, God knows where Watford could end up.
A lot of pundits on Soccer Saturday were saying that they were worried for Watford.
No, well, I wouldn't say I was worried. They played well, and it's a good result for them to get to start the season off.
Definitely.
And then the night time game was Everton away to Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton with
a lot of changes for both clubs.
Fucking 63 more new players. Obviously there's an episode of Sporting Lisbon having their financial disarray due to, well, not financial disarray, but player disarray due to the fans fucking breaking onto the pitch and all this shit that's happening. They're going to go to the sport arbitration about all this as well, which could land Wolverhampton in a bit of shit, because they're basically saying, I don't know if you've read the story, the fans broke onto the training ground, fucking threatened the players. I don't know if any of them get hit or not, but Gelson Martins, William Carvalho, and then a few of the boys, Rui Patricio, a few of the rest of the boys that have left have joined Wolverhampton, Atletico Madrid and Real Betis. And not for any money. Betis were the only team that actually physically paid cash. The rest of it's in holding, and Sporting Lisbon won the money. Anyway,
it's quite really so that obviously they're losing these top players. Really.
Well, if you think about it, how would you feel if, for example, someone broke into your work and started threatening you?
Oh no,
your work weren't willing to do anything about that.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that the players are wrong that they wanted out. What I'm saying is, like, Sporting Lisbon are well within their rights. It's not their fault that the fans broke in, so they're well within their rights to want money for the players.
Oh well,
there's an argument for both sides, because when it comes to that, there's very little that the club can do on that situation. If fans want to get in, fans want to get in.
Yeah. I think it was overall a good result for Wolves. Touching back to that, first game in the Premier League for a long time. A lot of new players take time to gel in. Rui Patricio really fucking annoyed me wearing number 11. What the fuck is that? It's a goalkeeper wearing number 11, but neither here nor there.
And to be fair, I knew it would annoy you.
But I think the standout for me was Richarlison. Moved to Everton, a big price tag in his head. From Watford, played well for Watford. He was a good player, no doubt about that. I don't know if he set the world on fire enough for that price tag, but
as you said earlier, that kind of price tag's standard now.
Yeah, Marco Silva seems to like him. He had him at Watford, obviously, and decided to bring him.
Yeah, see something in him. And to be fair, I can see it too. He's a good young player. But plenty of room to grow.
Ruben Neves is fucking free kick. It's beautiful.
He's a player though. He
every goal he scores is an
absolute worldie.
Oh man, he's just different class. He's only 21 years old.
He's insane.
He's got potential to go far. I think I can see a club like United, Liverpool, maybe not Liverpool, the midfield they've got now, but United or Chelsea or something like that. It's not
Arsenal.
But yeah, that finished off the Saturday football. It was a good result for Wolves, I would say. Moving on to Sunday, I think we'll cover Liverpool and West Ham. I think a lot of Liverpool fans I've seen a lot of them in social media and on the radio, and they played well.
They did.
Salah picking up where he left off, and
Mane as well,
playing brilliantly. Andy Robertson goes under the radar quite a lot, and he played some good football. Yeah,
focused on that. I think Andy Robertson, Keita and Mane down that left hand side. There's such a good understanding between the three of them.
Keita was my man of the match.
Definitely, just went about his business.
Game. He's just different class. When he's, I've seen a couple of times Firmino dropping in, and rather than Keita waiting back or waiting for the ball, he was going into the space that Firmino should have been in. And he's just an excellent reader of the game, and he caused a lot of havoc for West Ham. I think West Ham can't read too much into that result. They've got a lot of new players, new manager.
And they were against Liverpool.
Playing like that. I think there's a lot of work to be done with West Ham for them to come good. But no, I think it was a good result for Liverpool. But I would say don't get too much into that. It's the first game of the season, and you were playing West Ham.
No, definitely. But going on what you said with Firmino dropping back, I think that's key for Liverpool, because he drops back as if into a number 10 role. And then you've got guys like Keita, you've got Milner who makes these late runs as well, Mane down the left and Salah down the right. They flow, and they interchange as well, that front three.
And you've still
Firmino popped up on the right hand side and Salah in the middle.
Fabinho to come into that team as well.
That's scary. You get Shaqiri on the bench and come on. Henderson didn't even start as their club captain.
I think overall things are looking good for Liverpool. I think if any time for them to challenge it's this season, they've got a good goalie in place, Alisson, Becker. They've got a good back four, I would say, with Van Dijk, Matip, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson there with plenty of backup. They've got Moreno at left back, and then they've got Klein and Joe Gomez as well. Joe Gomez is playing at the centre half.
Played really well in centre half.
He's looking good. They might keep Matip out of the team.
Based on his performance at the weekend, he didn't show any weaknesses.
But my team of the weekend, unfortunately, was Manchester City, because they just, there's no other way to describe it but fucking magical. Like they literally were unbelievable. What I thought was funny was they had three natural right wingers in the pitch.
I know.
Bernardo Silva, right winger. Raheem Sterling, right winger. And Mahrez, right winger. They had Bernardo Silva playing the sort of Roman midfielder role, Mahrez out on the right, but I know Sterling's been playing there with England and also last season, just in behind the striker. Played really, really well. Dominated the game. I think if Lacazette had scored, things might have been different. We may be looking at this in a different way, but. Yeah. I don't know how you feel as an Arsenal fan. I think Arsenal looked worrying. Czech's distribution is so
poor.
Bad.
It's really poor.
I still don't know why Leno never played.
You'd have to ask Emery for that one, because I don't understand it either.
Bellerin is I know you rate him, but I don't. I think he's woeful. I rate him more really badly at the weekend.
I rate him more of an attacking player. He's not. He's good at chasing back. Don't get me wrong. He'll cover, but he's not an out-and-out defender. He's not, for example, like Lichtsteiner, whose job, who he looks at it and he'll go, right, I've not got the pace anymore.
Yep.
I have got to defend.
He's an international right back that's just played at the World Cup. Like, he should be starting as well. And
completely agree.
Xhaka just does not look good at all.
Which is weird. It's completely weird to me, because in that Switzerland team he looked good. I'm not going to say he looked great, because he didn't, but he looked good. He played alright during the World Cup, and then he comes back in. Strange one for me, being an Arsenal fan, is Guendouzi, who started in the middle of the park. Like, I get that they're saying that Torreira is getting a rest because he was at the World Cup, but he came back before the England players.
I think it shows you a difference in attitude. Sorry to interrupt you. It shows you a difference in attitude. Raheem Sterling, John Stones come back their holiday earlier to play in that game, because Man City have got this squad that they know if they don't play, there's a chance they could lose their spot.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you look at the attacking players that they've got: Raheem Sterling, Sané, Jesus, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva.
It's frightening.
There's literally so much depth, and that's not even including Phil Foden,
who's a really good up and comer,
who's looked amazing and looked great in the Community Shield.
But can't get a look in as a young player because he's got all these guys in front of him.
Yep. So City team of the week for me. Played really well. Don't forget, guys, just while I'm talking about that, we have on the Premier League app, we've got our fantasy league, the Roseanne Del Toro Show league. You can feel free to join that. Is there a pin for it?
Yeah, there is. The pin's up on Twitter. We've got that up there. So what I'll do is I'll retweet that out again tonight. And before the weekend, our scoring doesn't start until week 2 anyway.
Yep. Because
we created the league after or just before week 1's fixture, so we don't start until the second week for scoring. So definitely get on that. I'll retweet it out again tonight, so that we can get a few people joining. We've already got a few. I think we've got 4 or 5 in the league so far, so it's looking good.
And then the other game that was on the weekend was Southampton and Burnley, which was 0-0. Joe Hart looked good, but that's like Armstrong at his debut. He get brought off. Turned out a good ovation, to be fair, but a bit of a crap game. Danny Ings come on for Southampton. I know it's a club he holds dear to his heart. He started there and
local boy.
Yeah, but Southampton really need to start scoring goals, or they're going to end up in that relegation mix again. They really need to start playing.
I think they'll be okay, but I think they'll be down there.
Yeah, yep.
Before we move on, I want to ask, because I was looking at this just based on the Arsenal chat there. They don't look as solid as what we should be, as what a top 6 side should be. We've leaked 2 goals at the start of the season. I've wrote down here, what is the fascination with this 4-3-3 and the 4-5-1? Like, going back to it, why not change to a 4-4-2? Why not? Like, we've got 2 £50 million strikers.
Yep.
Right? We have spent money on Torreira, 20 million. It's going to end up being over 20 million. Like, my ideal midfield would have a 4 at the back. I think Kolasinac, when he's fit, plays left back. He starts for me. You've then got Socrates and Koscielny when he's back fit, and then Lichtstein on the right, Mkhitaryan on the left. Then I would have Xhaka and Torreira in the middle, Ramsey out right, because it's a position he's played before, and then the 2 boys up top. It's 2 solid banks of 4. It makes it harder to break down, and at the moment that's what Arsenal need. They know they've got the players going forward. I wouldn't have Ozil in my team. Like, definitely not in the start lineup. He's not warranted enough.
He played terribly at the weekend.
I know he's not warranted a place in that start lineup. He's there because they're paying him the most money at that club. It's the only reason he's there, is to try and back up the wage talk. So, but I'm going to put that question out to the guys listening. Arsenal fan or not, looking in, what do you guys think of changing the full formation, changing the kind of the outlook on it, in this 3-5-2 or 4-3-3, 4-5-1? What's the fascination? I'd like to hear you guys' points on that. So give us a wee tweet. I'll put a question up on Twitter and Facebook tonight, and I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
I think just on the back of that, I think 4-4-2 is coming back. It died out for a while, and then there was an era of 3 at the back, which City are playing at the moment. 3 centre half.
Chelsea as well.
5. They play with 5, but the two attacking wingers, right back and right wing back and left wing back, were booming forward. But I think it's making a comeback. It's just about who's brave enough to put 4 players, 2 players up top and leave it as open as that in the midfield now. So I think it's just about that. Another thing I wanted to touch on is breaking news today that Tottenham Hotspur's stadium, the brand new, we were talking about it last episode, amazing stadium, will be moved into until January. There's been a setback which I believe is going to affect the NFL games that are due to take place there. So they're going to be stuck in transition in Wembley.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Like, what would you say? Spurs fans going to be angry about this, and they're going to be bothered? Is there going to be an effect with the way that they're playing? What do you think?
I don't know. It's one of those ones. They found it hard moving to Wembley in the first place. They did have a period of really shaky form, but I don't think it will bother the team too much. They're now used to playing there. They've played their home games there for a full season, if not slightly longer. So I don't think it'll affect the team as much. I think the fans will just be a wee bit disappointed that they were looking forward to this new all singing, all dancing stadium, and they've just kind of been let down a wee bit.
I think it worries me though that it's down as critical safety issues.
Yeah,
that's a worry for me, considering this was a stadium that was meant to be moved into next month.
Yeah.
for them to just find that there's critical safety issues, that concerns me. And my thoughts, to be honest, are that when we were playing at Wembley, now notoriously they never done great at Wembley. Alright, they done okay in the league, but they did, overall they weren't too comfortable there. It's not their stadium. Surely there's got to be some sort of repercussion from playing half your season at Wembley and half of it at your new stadium. Pitch size, width of the pitch.
Yeah, because you have to submit your pitch dimensions at the start of the season. You can't change it during it. So is the pitch dimensions at the new? I don't know how they call. I'm not calling it White Hart Lane. I'm assuming. I don't know what they're naming it.
I don't know actually. I think
Stadium X
it's named after the sponsor.
Ah, right, okay.
Because that's the done thing nowadays.
Yeah. But it's going to be a weird one because, as you quite rightly said, should there be a repercussions or a fine or what would?
I don't know. But before we move on before we move on from football, should I say? 2 wee new additions to the podcast. We're going to do our entertaining highlight of the weekend for football, and we're going to do one each, and then I'm going to throw some trivia Colin's way. If you can't get it right, we'll push it out to you guys.
So please, so you guys might get it.
Yeah, you guys, if you are listening and you are going to do this, don't use fucking Google. There's no point. It's trivia for a reason. I could Google the answer to it and find it within seconds. So if you're wanting to really challenge yourself, don't use the computer. My highlight of the weekend was a Newcastle United fan getting banned from St James's Park for taking his fucking cock out.
It's the Sports Direct Arena.
It just made me chuckle. It wasn't even football, so I'm sorry if you were expecting some amazing piece of football knowledge. It literally was a cock in a stadium getting flashed at Spurs fans.
And it wasn't Jose Mourinho that was the cock in the stadium.
Come on, you're better than that.
No, I'm not. Mine was the double nut shot in the Liverpool West Ham game. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for a nut shot. It was the ball comes out. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it was Salah. It was either Salah or Kate. I can't remember who hits the shot.
Naughty Salah, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Driving with your phone.
For shame. Anyway, so the ball comes out, falls at the edge of the box. Boom. Straight. Bang smack. Jack Wilshere.
Bang smack.
Bang smack. Whoop bang. Right in the middle of the nuts. Comes back out. Hits it again. Mark Noble comes sliding in. Boom. Exact same. It's fantastic. Honestly, it's so funny to watch.
Right. So before we move on, the question this week is 2 players to have scored more than 100 Premier League goals.
Okay.
Using only toe punts. I'm only joking. 2 players to have scored more than 100 Premier League goals without taking a single penalty.
Oh. Ah, fuck.
No clues.
Without taking a single penalty, right? Okay, so that immediately excludes...
Jonathan Conde, if you're listening, I don't want you to take part in this because it makes it too easy for you.
Jonathan Conde, I would also like to tell you something if you're listening. Please stop giving Mikey these useless trivia questions because they make me sound like an absolute idiot when I don't get them. Right, okay, so it immediately rules out Alan Shearer.
I guess.
It immediately rules out Alan Shearer, Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Thierry Henry.
That's not even a little close.
It does. It rules them out. They scored penalties.
Right.
So
you're just giving me facts.
I'm telling you who's scored penalties and scored over.
I don't want to know. Tell me who didn't score penalties.
Fuck.
And I'm not meaning they didn't score a few penalties. They did not score a single penalty. These were 100, and as far as my memory,
is one of them Paul Scholes?
No, Paul Scholes took a penalty, or 2, or 3, or 4. Memory serves me correctly, we're looking at 150 goals and 111 goals.
I don't know. Like, I would say everybody had scored penalties. Really? I can't think of anyone who's that. And I know you're going to tell me, and I'm going to fucking kick myself.
I'm not telling you, because we're going to push it out to you guys. If anyone's listening, we'll add this onto the Twitter and Facebook later on. Feel free, again, if you've googled it, don't fuck it. Just private messages.
I don't Google it.
Just try and play the game. But anyway, that's enough football for one evening. On to the golf.
Yep, an interesting weekend.
Interesting. Do you know what really... I mean, I like watching golf. I'm not a player, but this golf is now moved to... Is it 11 Sport it's called?
Yeah,
it's
that
not
was
on Sky
that
anymore.
was
that really...
I don't think it's everything. I think it was just the PGA.
Yeah,
just the PGA.
Yeah.
That was a weird one for me. I tried to get it on Sky Sports, and then when I looked at it, I was quite dumbfounded. They outbid BBC and Sky Sports,
who've got had it for the last... football as well.
Oh, I've got Spanish football. That's insane. That's it's strange. Baffles me how Sky just don't take it. I know they're filing a lot of money into football,
exactly, but back to the golf itself. What was your overall thoughts?
Do you know what? I was actually quite surprised that
Koepka,
Brooks Koepka, yeah, it's his third major in 7 attempts. That's good going.
He's looking really good. He's relatively young as well, so
big strong boy. He drives the ball an absolute mile.
Talking about driving, Tiger's driving at the weekend. It's just awful.
I don't know what it is.
They hit 4 fairways yesterday. 3. And then he obviously got back.
But see when you're Tiger Woods and you can make these rescues, you can get yourself out of these positions.
If he'd hit more fairways, there's a chance he could have won that.
Oh no, he dropped 2 shots late on.
Yeah.
That really did.
He had a chance. He brought himself back to level with the leader.
They were all level. 14 under they were level on. Tiger finished at 14 under, and Koepka was 16. But I just think that as much as I really like Tiger and as a golfer, it's brilliant for me to see him challenging again. That's the last 2 majors that he's been there.
America, anyway. He's
been there or thereabouts in the final day, which is it's good for golf because you'll get your main fans, but you'll get your casual fans, which we kind of talked about casual fans last week. I would
probably class myself as casual.
Yeah, well, I don't watch everything. I like to watch a good bit of the golf. But I think it just makes it a lot more interesting for the sport itself, because it will bring in more sponsors, it will bring in more viewers, which is only good for young people trying to get into golf, which is a problem at the moment. I think with Tiger coming in, folk know who he is, and it then just puts a lot more spotlight on the younger guys like Spieth, Koepka, Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, Tommy Fleetwood, to name a few, all young, good golfers. And as you said there about the Ryder Cup, Tiger doing well, Brooks Koepka's American, him doing well like this,
it's really worrying.
It doesn't look good for Europe.
If you're a European team follower, it really, I mean, I'm not saying that Europe don't have a good team, they obviously do, but really, as far as it goes, America, I mean, their team is really frightening.
Well, I'm saying Tiger Woods won't be in the team based on points alone. I do think he will get a wild card though, based on his current form. But we've got the team up here on the screen. You look at the guys here: Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Patrick Reed, Bubba Watson, Ricky Fowler, Webb Simpson.
There's talking about strength and depth in the sense of football. You look at that and that's just...
You look at that and you're thinking, fuck me, that's insane. You've then got Phil Mickelson, who's positioned 10th, and Tiger Woods he's 11th in the lineup. I think the captain's picks might come into this and he might give them to Mickelson and Woods, purely one for experience, two for the fact that they're completely unpredictable and on their day are as good as anyone.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one for me. That well, not strange. I just mean in the sense of Europe looked so dominant for so long, and now it's completely flipped. Not that Europe don't have a good team, but McIlroy hasn't been doing it for a while now. And alright, you can have your Ian Poulter there, and you can have your Lee Westwood there, who are consistent enough at the Ryder Cup, but this squad that America have got just now are just going to completely take over.
I completely agree. We've got again
Stop fucking agreeing with me.
No, I do. No, I do though.
I promised people arguments between us. Do you
know what? Don't worry.
The American teams are fucking shambles. I think they're going to lose.
Stupid.
I think they're going to lose really badly. Heavily, I think they'll lose.
Don't be stupid. Right, so
why are you calling me stupid?
Because look at this team, right? You've got 8 players here. Ian Poulter,
Francesco Molinari's the best player in the world.
No, he's not.
He is.
He's
not.
He's the best player in the world. He's possibly the most consistent player in the world. In fact,
John Ram's the best player in the world.
No, he's not. He's poor at the moment.
He's the best player in the world.
He's poor at the moment. But going up, Francesco Molinari is
You've changed.
the most consistent golfer on the planet Earth. He just doesn't drop shots. He's been playing so well recently, but the team here, Alex Noren, Tyrrell Hatton. Do you mean
Tyrrell Hatton's been playing well as well.
He's been playing well, but these are not guys that you would look at.
No, when you look at the American squad,
when
you look at the American squad, and you look at the European squad, it's very.
But again, game of golf's not played on paper.
No, definitely not.
It's all down to it on the day, and anyone can win a game of golf.
Yep. I don't think there's any other golf news that you want to discuss.
No, not much apart from the impending doom for Team Europe.
Yeah, well, that's true. If any of you haven't already seen the Phil Mickelson advertising these new shirts, then
please
strongly go onto YouTube and look at that. It's the most fucking amazing video you'll ever watch.
It's the most unsettling, but also amazing.
Anyway, just a bit of random news before we move on even. I don't know what the listeners think of this. I don't know what you think of this, but I'm deeply disturbed. In current society, with people being, gender neutral and bisexual and heterosexual and metrosexual and doing what they want, and body shaming being a big thing, and people of different creeds and cultures, and intelligence and not intelligence, and schools and all that sort of stuff. When Stacey Solomon announces that she's not shaved her pubes in 10 years, I don't really know where to go with that, to be honest.
I'm sorry, that's an instant turn off, man. 10 years?
I mean,
it's been a while for me, mate, but do you know what I mean? I still keep it.
I know, but
tidy.
10 fucking years, man.
Jesus.
I mean,
she said Wayne's.
Exactly.
That's worrying. That's worrying.
Fucking coming out of there like some monkey dropping down a vine at a jungle. Like, you know what I mean? What the fuck? Stacey.
How do you know when the baby starts and the vagina ends?
Oh man, she must look like some sort of fucking sea urchin. Stacey, listen. If you're listening, which I really hope. To be honest,
hope you listen.
I'd really fucking hate it, to be honest. My Twitter handle, by the way, in case you're listening, is @CS _Rose. So if you need any abuse, just hurl it that way. But seriously, Stacey, if you're listening, do us all a favour. Just go and see your local beauty therapist and get that seen to, because there's nobody wanting to lick.
Come on, man. Take care of yourself. Oh, wow. On that bombshell, we'll move swiftly on. I don't know where they go after that. Thank you for just completely derailing my train of thought.
So, how was the podcast? That was good. They spoke about Scottish football for a while, and then they spoke about the Premier League. They seem decently knowledgeable guys. Good chat about football. Oh, right, cool. What else did they talk about? Well, they spoke about golf, and then I was sure I was hearing things, but I listened to it back, and they did actually spend 5 minutes talking about Stacey Solomon's pubes.
Yeah, damn right. Well, we had a wacky 5 minutes last week at the end where we talked about spaghetti and pasta.
Well, we're not far off spaghetti.
Well, very true. Right, so moving swiftly on then to WWE. It's a big week for WWE at the moment, unfortunately.
Summerslam.
The Summerslam. No, unfortunately today, when in wrestling news, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, it was broke that he passed away. Unfortunately, Natalia's dad, otherwise known and a founding member of the Hart family, and it was TMZ that actually reported he had a fall at his home and hit his head and later died because of the trauma to the head. That's sad news. It's terrible. He's the former WWE Tag Champ with Bret Hart. He wrestled for four of the biggest companies worldwide: WWF, New Japan Wrestling, WCW and ECW. So he had a good career. He's obviously Natalia, who's currently in the WWE. Unfortunately, her match, I think, for tonight against Alexa Bliss will be pulled for obvious reasons. So going into SummerSlam and going into the final Raw, it's a wee bit of a sad story to break. So
yeah, I mean, it's I when I grew up with wrestling, it was my era. I've not watched a great deal of old wrestling. Sad when anyone passes away, especially if you've got an invested interest in wrestling. And obviously thoughts from everyone in the wrestling circle of any sort of sports circle, thoughts go out to his family. Not to necessarily say they'll be listening to this, but you still need to obviously cover that anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on from that, with SummerSlam just around the corner, what sort of news or what sort of matches, in the sense of matches, what do you what's your predictions?
So I've looked at this card, and when it comes to pay-per-view cards, I look at this and this is a fucking nailer. Like, this card is unreal.
We touched on this last week. I've fallen out of love with wrestling. I've not watched it in a long time now. There's nothing in it that really entertains me anymore. Mm-hmm. So I suppose for the listeners and for me, sell me SummerSlam.
Right, cool. So one for the purists is of wrestling fans, the purest of wrestling fans, the Miz and Daniel Bryan. That's been building for 2 years now. And SummerSlam we finally get Daniel Bryan versus Miz. So that's, in my opinion, one of the matches that could steal the show. And to be honest, there's about 6 or 7 on here that could steal it. The mainstream interest, Ronda Rousey's got a title match. Now, Ronda impressed me at WrestleMania. She's impressed me, maybe not so much on the mic. Granted, she's not a great promo, but she's took to wrestling like a duck to water, to be honest. Not a massive change from MMA, but enough of a change that it could be
slight change from MMA.
A slight change, but you know what I mean. It's an act. It's combat, but it's more entertainment than what it is fighting.
It's all,
but entertainment. It's still the technical side of things is completely different.
No, listen, I'm not taking anything away from what wrestlers do. From anywhere from Lionheart to Jeff Hardy, these guys put their body in the line, and regardless of whether you like wrestling or not, or whether you think it's fake or well, it is obviously not real, but it's an entertainment value. But these guys, the moves they do are real. The falls they take are real. The bumps they take are real. Coming off a ladder, doing a fucking backflip is real, and they fucking hurt. And they do that for people's entertainment. I've got a lot of admiration for that. But it's
a different skill set.
Yeah, the WWE, as I touched on last week, I think is lost sight a bit, and it's become more about the fucking running your mouth on a microphone. When you don't have people like The Rock, like Triple H, like Stone Cold, who was never an amazing promo,
who can run their mouth on the mic, but they can back it up in the ring.
It's not even that. It's just Roman Reigns is not The Rock on a mic. No. I'm not saying he's bad. That is not saying he's bad.
No, of course I agree.
Saying The Miz is probably the closest thing I would say to the likes of your Jerichos, your Rocks, your Punk. Triple H's. Yeah.
Punk was a promo guy.
The Miz is probably the closest thing you'll get to that at the moment.
I would say The Miz is better.
But as far as wrestling goes at the moment, I think he's got a lot of work to do to gain some fans back. And I get that.
Do you know what? I agree with you. I agree with you. Like, it has got a lot of work to do to get some fans back. But do you know what? This card, I think, it's going to go some way to getting them back.
They've
because
had good cards before, though. It's all about the execution of what happens. You know, what they do with the match. You know, they've had the potential for so many matches to be a main event, and they've fucked that by making it not a main event, or they've made a match 2 minutes long, or they've made the match go completely the wrong way of what it should.
Yeah, well, again, to an extent, I agree with that. But you said matches being a main event and not being a main event. This really card, maybe bar one or two, is a card full of main events. I'm going to run through it. So, Rousey versus Alexa Bliss. If Rousey can continue in the same form that she's been on, with just kind of continuing to improve in a wrestling ring, Alexa Bliss will be able to take her to a good match. Like, she'll be the backbone of this match. Don't get me wrong. Alexa Bliss is fantastic in my opinion. But Alexa Bliss can get and Rousey can put on a damn good show. Even give them 10 minutes. Yep. Give them 10-15 minutes. Next one, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. Like, they don't need to talk people into the building. They've wrestled each other so many times over the years, everywhere, up and down America, Japan, everything. You've got your headliner, Reigns and Lesnar. Now, Lesnar isn't actually scheduled. He's not advertised to be at Raw tonight. No advertisement whatsoever. I think he will be there, but no advertisement, which was strange for me.
They for the sanity of everyone, and for the actual, for the fans and for the people that have lost interest, they need to get that title
for
off
Reigns. For Reigns, he needs it. He needs what?
Because even if I was an avid wrestling fan now, I think I'd be starting to lose interest, because it's just.
Oh, Brock fucks me over, man.
I mean, like,
pisses me off.
I remember when I watched wrestling properly, it was the titles were changing all the time.
Yeah, you're the guy that would hold it maybe for 2 months.
Yeah,
3 months most.
Sometimes it would change in Raw, sometimes it would change in SmackDown, sometimes you'd wait for the main event, sometimes it would happen the night after the main event, and you didn't know MD could come out and challenge for it. You used to have fucking Jeff Hardy challenging Triple H and fucking Edge and then The Rock and then Chris Jericho and then Kurt Angle and Undertaker and Kane and Austin and all these wrestlers back in the day. Every single division was loaded with factions and stables and groups and individuals. You just had talent all over the place. Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, X-Pac, Rikishi, Scotty 2 Hotty, Edge, Christian, Gangrel, Farouk, Bradshaw, Kurt Angle. The name I could go on all night.
Depth from the top to the bottom of the card.
But now you look at it and go, well, Roman Reigns, consistently good wrestler. Brock Lesnar, never there. He's all right. He throws people about. He's a natural, real wrestler. But his entertainment goes, what does he bring? He's the beast. Oh, that's cool.
Only gets entertaining for so long.
The Miz is good, but gets fucked about all the time. Daniel Bryan's just back. Kane's well past it. The Undertaker keeps coming back. He's well past it. Well, he's a male now, yeah. You know, you've got the Hardy Boys coming back, who are not the same as they were. And then you get people like Bray Wyatt again, had the potential,
underutilised guys like Wyatt, Ziggler. Like, I'm a massive fan of Andy, who's seen me wrestle knows I'm a massive fan of Ziggler. I've had that chant 1 or 2 times, like
1 or 2,
4 or 5, but like, he is so underutilised. It's annoying. Like, you've got again guys like him and Rollins tonight for the IC title. Ambrose is going to be in Rollins' corner tonight on Sunday night. I'm telling you that. He's not came back yet. He'll be back tonight on Raw. That's my prediction.
Why would he be in Rollins' corner?
Why not? They reformed the Shield because Drew's in Ziggler's corner. They reformed the Shield. Rollins
perfect time for him to come back.
Perfect time.
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? So they left on good terms when he had his injury. So it wouldn't be unseen for him to come back.
Does Ambrose come back and cost him?
That's where I was leading with that one.
Ambrose comes back as a heel.
Yeah, you need Ambrose as a heel. So good as a heel. So good. But Rollins as well is so good as a heel.
I think for someone who's not really a massive invested fan of wrestling as I've covered. I think my shout last week when we were just talking, you seemed very impressed with, and I think it would be the right way to go, is with the New Day.
Oh yeah, we talked about this off air then.
When we were talking, you said, Big E's the way to go, he's got to turn heel, or Xavier Woods has got that shitty, nasty streak about him that if he wanted to, he could be the bad guy. And as I said to you, my idea to shock more people and bring a bit of entertainment value for somebody that is a class wrestler as well would be for Kofi Kingston. Nobody would expect it.
I wasn't expecting you to say
that. He
could
could potentially be a great heel because of his face for so long. He's never been a heel as far as I'm aware. He's always...
He has been a good few years ago though, so like he's been a face for the last 5-6 years.
So people know him as this amazing high-flying, all-singing, all-dancing wrestler. Yep. He always does the same thing at the Royal Rumble. It's become a bit tedious. But he always does that. He jumped in the chair and then he jumped in the people and then he jumped... and it's an amazing skill, but they need to break up. They've in my opinion, they've sat about for too long. Yeah, they're selling the merch and yeah, the fans love them, I get that, but those are three wrestlers that should be fucking winning things and doing things, and they're not. They're going to stagnate.
Exactly. And you're saying they're going to stagnate. They have stagnated. They've got a title match against the Bludgeon Brothers. They're not going to win that. And as you said,
I will howl if they win that.
See, well, I know I'll be made to eat my words there, but I don't see them winning it because they should, as you said, break it up and change it up a bit. And another one that you mentioned, Jeff Hardy, him and Nakamura. There's been the potential to have such good matches between the two of them, but the stupid storyline with Orton coming back and touching on that, Orton, the last couple of weeks in SmackDown, promos have been insane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with him, but I'm coming back with this whole, he's going to stop the folk that are wanting to be legend killers up the kind of way he's having that. That's absolute class. Like getting back to his best, like when he's just a vicious bastard. Like Randy Orton punted John Cena's dad's head, punted Vince McMahon in the head. Like there's really no way to pull that well. Like I've tried it. It's a hard skill to master. But I'm going to throw it out here just now. In this list of matches, like we've mentioned Ziggler, Rollins, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, The Miz, Daniel Bryan. The match that I think is going to be the best match in the card, if they give it enough time, Carmella versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. Hands down, has the most potential there for me to be fucking match of the night.
Three absolute warriors, like they literally could go all night.
Oh, exactly. Carmella's character.
They've got the potential to put on a great show. They do.
Brilliant. Like Carmella's improved so much in the ring since she came up to SmackDown, so much. But her character work is fantastic. Like, folk hate her.
Yeah,
folk hate her.
That's what you want.
And Becky and Charlotte, like, I mean, we've seen the two of them go with Sasha. We've seen them go with Bayley. Like those five girls that I've just mentioned. Like, do you know what I mean? They are possible future Hall of Famers.
But well, we ask you guys, if you've not already picked up on the matches that Colin's mentioned, feel free to have a look online. But we want to know what is going to be your number one match for SummerSlam this weekend. So guys, we're going to wrap it up for another episode. If you've listened this far, then thanks very much. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you could, we need as much retweets on Twitter and likes, and we're not scared to ask for it. We need shares on Facebook and likes on Facebook.
Definitely.
So if you've listened to some of it and saving it for another day, and whenever you're picking this up, we could use as much help as we can. We're doing this for our own fun, but we want it to be fun for you guys as well. So again, had a bit of feedback from last week. We hope we've improved. We'd really appreciate any more feedback that you can give. Your likes and dislikes, doesn't matter.
We've got thick skin.
as we mentioned during the show, obviously drop yourself onto iTunes and give the Seaside Sons a listen to. And we'll be keeping in touch on Twitter with our guest who will be joining us in the next show. We'll announce who that will be via the Twitter and Facebook accounts. Yep. But as I said, thank you very, 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 very much for listening. I hope it's been a fun listen for you. I'm Mikey, and thank you very much.
Yep. Again, guys, thank you very much for all the guys who've listened to the first episode. It was a great way to kick off the show. Just under 100 listeners. Now, it might not seem a lot to you guys, but it means a lot to us. So again, as Mikey said, thank you very much. Give us a follow on Twitter at Rose and El Toro Show, and on Facebook, The Rose and El Toro Show. I'm CS Rose, and guys, thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.